let's get into the big story of the night. Matthew Schaefer makes his debut, a preseason debut, with the New York Islanders. All eyes were on him. He did end up playing, Mitch, 24 minutes and 39 seconds. So he played a lot, second most for any defenseman on the team and second most overall on the team. There was some good, there was some rookie mistakes. We're going to talk about all of it. And I was texting you on the side while we're watching this game. I like the approach, especially in the preseason when these games don't matter. Just give him as much ice time realistically as you can. I'm not saying play him a full 60 minutes, obviously, but give him a ton of ice time. Let him do something like the positives, let him learn the negatives, and kind of just take it from there.
Yeah, and when you saw the lineup, I think that's what we were all expecting. You see Mayfield, Schaefer, and you're like, that should be our third pair going into the year. Clearly, they want to get a measure of this kid. Like, are you going to be here all year, or are you just getting the maybe 9 games type of thing? And so you give him as much as you can right away, and he looked the part immediately. Right, his first shift in his own zone, takes a hit, makes an outlet pass, and then is right up the ice to try to finish off the play. You're going, this is what we want, North-South hockey, and this kid can do it already. Shift 1. It's not like shift 1 done. This kid's a lock to make the team for the year, but it is a really good look instantaneously.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. And the skating ability, I thought, was put on display a lot tonight. He was out there, in overtime and was showing
that play on Zegras in overtime. Or was it Zegras or Mishkov?
Well, Bo, he got back on 2 separate occasions. There was one, the second one, I forget the order, forgive me, but the second one I thought was more impressive that he got back on than the first one.
Yeah, because he makes the play behind the Flyer net, and then it comes all the way back to strip the puck on the player, whether it's Mishkov or Zegras. Made him look like a goddamn pylon with that orange suit.
So that was nice, obviously. He picks up an apple, too, in his first game, which... Puck's on net, man. He throws one on net, goes off the goalie pads, and bounces right to Kyle Palmieri. He pops it in. Good. I hope Kyle Palmieri scores 25 goals like that this year, and that's what we want to see from Matthew Schaefer. Get pucks on net from the point.
Absolutely. It was a lot of good, and that was early in the game. Well, no, the second he scored in the second period did Kyle Palmieri, but throughout the first, he did quite a few good. Both in his zone and not in his zone, right? On and off the puck. See, there's a lot to like in what Matthew Schaefer was doing. It wasn't obviously all perfect. That giveaway for the first goal was pretty bad.
Yeah, so he throws one to the neutral zone. It gets picked off, and it ends up a goal. Now, that honestly, and he can't make that mistake, and that's hopefully something that he learns from. There's been a few defensemen here over the years that have continued to make that mistake many years into their career. I will say that's one I thought Rittich should have saved. Put a pin in Rittich. I want to talk about him after we get through. I want to focus on Matthew Schaefer now, but I do want to talk some David Rittich later on in this episode here. But that's a play that Matthew Schaefer can't make. I do want to give one more positive before I hit on a couple things that I think he needs to work on and a couple mistakes from tonight. I was impressed with him at the blue line. They showed a couple like replays, and Cal, as the color man, was talking about like what he was doing in that situation, and he was standing strong on the blue line and not making it easy for his man to get into the zone.
Yeah, and this is an 18-year-old first set of actions against, sure, there's a few 18-year-olds, but there's also a lot of veterans on that. Maybe not veterans, like Sean Couturier wasn't playing, but guys who've been in the league for a hot minute, at least even in Matvei Michkov, or 23 or 24-year-olds, older guys on that Flyer team. So his timing isn't as good as some of these other guys' timing, at least at this level. And he's still trying to learn that, and he's already hitting on it. You're talking about protecting that blue line. His gap control was pretty good, at least at the blue line. And so protecting that is going to be huge in what is today a more rush styled offense. Being able to protect that blue line and break those plays down before they even happen is massive. And again, 18 years old, still's got to put some muscle on. So, he would be a little bit more effective at that line, and his timing to know, like, when can I do it? What can I do? And how far out can I have my stick, and how much can I cheat? He's still going to have to figure that out going forward, but he's already huge strides in that department. And again, he's only played here for 24 minutes.
And again, that's something that you obviously love to see. But in
Yeah.
the second period, an area that he needs to improve on, he took a couple penalties. The first one was holding call, which probably could have just kept his skates going. Got a little lazy down on his own end, and then delay a game, put the puck over the glass. We kill Scott Mayfield when he does that, and other veterans. And at some point, we will kill Matthew Schaefer for making that mistake. It's not something you can do. It's that's one of the more frustrating penalties, in my opinion. I know it happens. I know that, and it's nitpicking, but that's one of the ones that tends to frustrate me the most. It's something that he's gotta learn from. And again, it's his first action. We're not saying it's all sunshine and rainbows or oh my god, it's horrible. There were good, and there was some rookie moments. And to me, the early portions of the second period, first one was at 10:45, the second penalty 14:59. That to me was the growing pains of an 18-year-old.
Yeah. And it's not like it got worse after that. It
No.
kind of stabilized after those two mistakes. They happened in quick succession. To me, is you saw that the shift count was pretty high throughout the game. I don't think we have the detailed reports that we usually have. We might even, holy crap, boy, the NHL, good job here by getting all these reports. If I can get on it, full play-by-play. No, I can't get the shift report just yet, but I can get the time on ice, I think, report. Oh, there it is. For Mr. Matthew Schaefer, 48, because it seemed like the shifts were coming in pretty quick through or often in that first and second period. And I felt like he was maybe getting tired in the second, making mental mistakes, right? So the holding, as you said, a little bit lazy. I thought he just got bad positioning and just tried to make up for it by getting an arm in there, got caught. And then that second one was just under duress, right? And he's just trying to, I'm not going to say freak out, but he's panicking in a way because he's got two flyers coming at him. He's just trying to get the puck out. Yeah. And he makes a bad play instead of keeping his head up type of thing. So it seems like to me, it's a tired play. And you look at the number of shifts you have. I can't do the count. 29 total shifts, 8 in the first, 8 in the second. But then he got 10 in the third. So like it wasn't necessarily a tired thing. Like Patty played him even more afterwards. So it must have been just kind of going through the motions, maybe a little too tired. But it's there. Oh yeah. Well, look at the shift lengths for 400 minute 40 seconds, minute 47, a minute 19, a minute 4. He was getting some really, really extended shifts in the second period because you have the long change. And I think that kind of gassed him a little bit in taking those penalties.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out from you as part of the reason why we could have potentially seen that coming up with Matthew Schaefer. But again, up and down. He ended up with 4 penalty minutes, an assist, -1, if you care about that. 29 shifts, 5 shots on net. We'll see how much more we see of him in the preseason. A couple more games left.
Yeah, 5 shots. That's insane. Yeah, like there's a lot to like here. To me, I think he makes the roster. Seeing that tonight, does it make you more comfortable or less comfortable in his ability to not just make the roster for those 9 games, but make the roster full-time this year?
Well, my stance before going into this game was that I thought he was going to make the roster and play the entirety of the year. And I still feel that way. His performance, it wasn't like he came out and was like, oh my God, yeah, this is a no doubt he's staying. And it also wasn't like, geez, like this kid just looks like he's completely lost out there. He met my expectation.
That's right. Yeah, I'm with you there. Like I'm sure he's making the team, and this just kind of almost reaffirms that again. Not like, oh, this is going to be Connor McDavid here. It's this kid belongs, and let's try to bring him along and build this thing as we go forward.